Clara Mae Stover, 1882 to 1975, was the wife and co-founder of candy maker Russell Stover, who created Russell Stover Candies and solely ran the company. Following his death, early life and marriage, Clara Mae Stover was born in Oxford, Iowa. In 1882, Clara Mae was raised on a farm with her three sisters, who were required to do the work of men since their parents had no sons. Through the strong influence of her grandma, Clara Stover was a very independent woman who took the initiative to be self-reliant and knowing how to get things done. Clara and Russell Stover met as students in Iowa City, Iowa, at the Iowa City Academy. Over the years, they kept in touch and got married in 1911. The Stovers decided to buy a 580-acre wheat and flax farm in Saskatchewan, Canada. Unfortunately, heavy rains destroyed their crops. Introduction to candy industry. Russell Stover was hired by a candy company in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Years later, the Stovers decided to move back to the United States, where Russell worked for confectioners in Des Moines, Iowa and Chicago, Illinois, during the 1910s. Throughout the process, Russell Stover became very familiar with the candy-making process. Everything from the production to the sale of chocolates. This began Clara and Russell's dream of a chocolate empire that still thrives today. Clara Russell would actually dip the chocolates herself in their apartment kitchen. Russell Stover would in turn sell them to neighborhood druggists on the weekends. Creation of Eskimo pie. In 1921, Russell Stover, studying chemistry at the University of Iowa and business partner, Iowa schoolteacher Christian Nelson, patented a process by which ice cream could be coated with chocolate without melting. At a dinner party, Clara suggested calling it an Eskimo pie, which became a national sensation. Russell was soon offered licensing agreements and buyout offers, some millions of dollars. He was also in lawsuits, suing imitators, hiring many lawyers. Instead of taking the buyout offers, Stover waited too long and sales plummeted, leaving sales at only several $1,000s. Stover Candy Company. The Stovers used their meager earnings to create their own candy company in Denver, Colorado, known as Mrs. Stover's Bungalow Candies. Through their successes and failures, they were now prepared to officially run a successful candy business. Russell and Clara Mae Stover began to build factories in Denver and Kansas City, Missouri. In 1931, the Russell Stover Company headquarters was moved to Kansas City, increasing its output from 20,000 to 11 million pounds of candy production. In 1943, Mrs. Stover's Bungalow Candies was renamed Russell Stover Candies. Mrs. Stover and Stover Candy Legacy. In 1954, Russell Stover died after leaving his significant contributions to the American candy industry. Russell Stover Candy was sold in 2,000 pharmacies and department stores nationwide, and also through their 40 company-owned stores. After his death, Clara Stover was the head of Russell Stover Candies for 6 years. Later years. Death. In 1975, Clara Stover died in Kansas City, where she had lived with her husband. Her cremated remains are inurned with those of her daughter and husband at Mount Moriah Cemetery in Kansas City.